Hey guys, it's Sean O'Connell, the managing editor here at CinemaBlend, back with another analysis video for WandaVision. We're up to episode number 3 in season 1 of the Disney Plus Marvel show. We have broken down episodes 1 and 2 so far, which were, according to the 1 decade per episode, the 1950s, 1960s. This brings us up to the 1970s, and we have Wanda and Vision expecting their first baby, because that's how quickly the world is going. Naturally, we're going to have to get into spoilers because this is full-on analysis, so if you've seen the episode for WandaVision, please keep going on with the video. Before you dive in, of course, do me a favor, go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. Not only are we doing WandaVision analysis videos, but we always do things like Snyder Cut videos, trailer reactions, and so much more other fun stuff here on CinemaBlend. We want to make sure that you guys get to watch all of it. So, like I said, this is the 1970s now, and it's very much a Brady Bunch inspired episode, and that staircase in the house is just an instant callback to anyone who grew up watching the Brady Bunch. But what's kind of interesting is that we wrote a story on CinemaBlend getting into an aspect of Wanda's life that we learned that the show was going to explore, which is the fact that while she was growing up in Sokovia as one of the twins, and the twins become a significant part about the legacy of the show so far, is that she grew up on American television. She's inspired by the shows that she grew up on, and so she remembers the Brady Bunch, but there's something different about the layout of the house. And I know I said in the previous video that I think it was going to be interesting, more interesting, when you got to the decades of television that you truly remember. And I'll tell you, the impact of seeing the Brady Bunch stairs, but coming down into a place where the couch shouldn't be, that's the first time that it felt to me like, oh, this is really wrong. Like, I get what you're doing, but it's off. And then I realized that it's by design, because Wanda, she remembers it, but she doesn't really remember it. So when she's trying to reconstruct the Brady Bunch house in her mind for her and Vision to live in, it's right, but it's not right. It's a little bit off. And I think that that's an element of the production design. I think that all of that is very intentional, and it's cool. There's a cool moment when Vision starts to question what's going on with the reality, and he's starting to say to her, like,
I think something's wrong here, Wanda.
He points out certain elements from the previous 2 episodes, the dinner with his boss, and he says, like, these things are not right, and she resets him. Like, she literally just boom, click, and we've got another outcome to the way that conversation goes. Again, shows just how powerful Wanda is. We saw her get to a point when the beekeepers were coming out of the manhole cover where she was like, no, this is not going to happen yet, and she rewinds and resets. So even though Vision being a construct, I think being a construct in Wanda's mind, because I'm assuming that he's still dead from Infinity War, and that Wanda has created a version of Vision that's living with her in this alternate reality, in this different sort of construct, even he can get to the point where he's a little bit questioning it. And you're seeing all of the characters from within the suburban universe starting to question a lot of things that are going on. You get to a point where Catherine Hahn is trying to question Geraldine's character and whether, like, where she came from and the fact that she has no home. And I started to think, because the episode 2 ended with somebody asking Wanda, who's doing this to you? I started to wonder if the person doing it to her is somebody on the inside, if it's somebody who's part of the show. Maybe it's Catherine Hahn's character. Maybe Catherine Hahn's character is the villain of this show, and she's trapped Wanda in some kind of situation where Wanda is forced to live out a different existence that would have Vision and her creating this alternate reality, but she's able to sort of control her from the inside and power where she's going. So then when somebody shows up like Geraldine, because Geraldine has a S.W.O.R.D logo, you could assume that maybe S.W.O.R.D sent Geraldine into the reality to try to infiltrate what's going on with Wanda, because S.W.O.R.D is monitoring everything from the outside. They're trying to contact Wanda, reach out to her, and ask her who's doing it to her. And then you would assume that they sent in a secret agent, or special agent, an undercover agent, Geraldine, in order to get closer to Wanda. But when she's in the reality, she's going along with it. She's going along with the pregnancy. She's going along with being the next door neighbor. She was part of the suburban housewives from the 1960s and seemed a little bit confused as to why she was there. Found that really fascinating. She goes along with it, but then at one point, when the construct starts to sort of break down a little bit and Wanda hears the word twins and starts to admit that she was a twin, the line between the reality and whatever Wanda has created really thins. And then even Geraldine is able to say, like, wait a second, I knew your brother Pietro. Like, he got killed by Ultron. And that almost snaps Wanda out of it as well too. So it's interesting that the artificial reality that Wanda has created for her and Vision to live in is really strong, really powerful, but it's not impermeable. There's definitely some relevance to the term
small towns, so hard to escape.
And I thought it was really interesting to see how Wanda started to... it's a great performance by Elizabeth Olsen to see how Wanda is starting to look at what the true reality is. And to say, like, I'm a twin, and to remember Pietro, and to talk about Quicksilver. All of that is really relevant to the character, and I think is important about where she's going in this reality. And that's what led me to believe, when Catherine Hahn was sort of questioning Vision and questioning the role of Geraldine, if it was a character from inside the bubble, and maybe Catherine Hahn specifically, who is controlling Wanda and forcing her to do this illusion for reasons that we don't know yet, and I hope to learn pretty soon. But I'm thinking that S.W.O.R.D is on Wanda's side. I'm thinking that S.W.O.R.D is an ally, in a S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of way, and is doing what they can to get inside and help Wanda. And I think that they probably sent Geraldine in as a secret agent to sort of infiltrate the illusion, almost in a way with the magic trick, how... Vision pulled her out of the box and pulled her from backstage into the illusion, which is the television show that's been created. That's interesting. I'm just making that connection in my brain right now of how that came together. So Geraldine has now been pulled into the thing until the very end when she gets spit out. Well, it becomes a little bit of a Truman Show situation where there's a ton of people on the outside, soldiers, an encampment. They see Geraldine essentially get spit out, land on the outside. They come at her with guns, but she has definitely been ejected from someplace. And then you go see on the outside of Westview, they're camped outside of it waiting to see how they can get into Wanda or what's going on with Wanda. So Wanda has set up what looks to be like a bubble of reality, and she's inside of it. And I'm assuming that we're going to get to see more of the inside and the outside of it as the episodes go on. This was the first episode of the 3 where the physicality and the gimmick of the episode overwhelmed the story for me. It got goofy with hiding the pregnancy. It got goofy with, Vision running to get the doctor and coming back. And it was all silly and funny, but not nearly as funny as the first 2 episodes. It got a little bit too slapsticky for me, dropping vases and hiding behind fruit and all that jazz. Like, it is what it is. It's funny how time is moving so quickly inside the episode that Wanda is okay with the fact that they are now in the 70s and she's 9 months pregnant, but even Vision's just like, 12 hours ago you were pregnant. That's how quickly this is moving. So all the gimmick with the stork too, like that was unusual. Hiding him in red smoke, throwing a piece of fruit to get rid of the stork, like I'm sure that there's symbolism there with that, but that humor went a little bit too far for me. So it's your guys' turn. Head to the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the latest episode of WandaVision and the bigger picture as it's starting to snap together. Are you guys looking forward to the 80s coming up in next week's episode? And what did you think of the Brady Bunch motif of episode number 3? While you're in the comment section, of course, go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. It allows you guys to keep up to date with all of our analysis videos here for WandaVision. Of course, we're going to be covering WandaVision throughout the entirety of the season and all the places where it takes the MCU. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep it locked here right on CinemaBlend.